What's up, y'all? This is Dosha with DoshaDreamsTarot, and this is a reading for the sign of Sagittarius. What's up, Sag? This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs, or wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Just take what does and leave the rest for somebody else. Cross watchers, you are welcome here, but just keep in mind this is Sagittarius' reading. So if I expose you for your bad behavior, if I talk shit about you, you can't get mad. Sag comes first. Also keep in mind that gender is fluid. So I do attempt to use gender neutral language to describe the cards. That's to make my readings more accessible and so that people can place themselves where they fit without gender being a hang up. But if I do sense a pretty strong energy coming through that's very specific, then I will call it like I see it. But aside from that, nothing is set in stone and everything is fluid. So please just place yourself where you fit, okay? Time is also fluid. Okay. If you haven't already, please do like, share, comment, or subscribe before you leave. It really does help support me and my channel, helps the message get further and the channel to grow bigger. So with that being said, let's go and get into it. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We're deeply grateful, and we know we couldn't do this without you. Would you please help guide Sag for their highest good, Spirit? And please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Interesting. Okay, the Emperor in reverse at the bottom of the deck. And looky here, we've got the Star card coming out. First card that I saw. With the other two cards in mind here, I'm kind of feeling that you have decided to focus on you, Sag. And that's beautiful to see. I'm really happy to see it. I feel like you've decided to let go of the past. I'm hearing the words bleeding heart, okay? I just take it as it resonates. I'm getting the feeling that you are moving away from focusing so much on love and romance and focusing on your purpose, okay? Your connection with Spirit. You following your North Star, right? This is about you following your guidance, your I'm really getting your connection with Source, your connection with Spirit here. That you're choosing to let go of the past. You don't want to continue to be nostalgic about the past. And I don't think you're receiving any new offers right now, okay? That's just what I'm getting so far. Because you've got the Six of Cups in reverse here, right? This is like letting go of nostalgia. That's what I'm feeling here. Nostalgia for the past. Nostalgia for a past relationship. I've also got the Knight of Cups in reverse, okay? So like I said, I feel like you may or may not be accepting or extending new love offers at this time. The Emperor card in reverse is telling me that you're also relinquishing control, okay? Which is really, really good. This is good, Sagittarius, depending on your situation. But more often than not, this is good because what it symbolizes to me is that you're recognizing the ways in which you give your power away, right? And this happens a lot. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit. Can we go ahead and clarify why the Six of Cups is here in reverse? Can you clarify why the Six of Cups is here in reverse, Spirit? Okay. Interesting. Wow, okay. Yeah. You know what? This is really funny, Sag. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this is talking about new opportunities is what I'm getting here. And this could be new opportunities, not just with other people or other things, but this is like an opportunity for you. A new opportunity with you. Does that make sense? It's an opportunity for you to change almost is what I'm getting. So this is wild, okay? So you've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. To clarify, the Six of Cups in reverse, right? And you've also got the Page of Swords in reverse. So my immediate thought was that you have, like I said, relinquished control with the Emperor card, which Yes. Okay. Depending on the situation, but for this, for whatever reason, like I said, I don't know what your specific situation is yet, but I just know that letting go of control and focusing on yourself is always a good thing, okay? Unless, of course, you're in a situation where you need to be, taking control of a situation, right? Or where you need to, be there for other people, right? There are certain situations where you have an obligation to other people. It's not just about you, right? Like if you have kids, you can't just, you know what I mean, let go of control and focus on yourself if you have kids. Like, I'm sorry, but no, that's not how that works. So Sag, in this particular situation, what I'm feeling is that this is a good thing that you're doing, okay? So you've decided to let go of control. You're no longer going to be keeping an eye on people, okay? With this Page of Swords in reverse. Maybe you have been nostalgic and you've been looking at, like, you know what I mean, past photographs or past messages or whatever it is. You've been checking on somebody, checking their social media, all that sort of thing, and you're realizing, like, this is fucking me up. Excuse my language. I just feel this sense of defeat. Like, I'm looking at the face of the person in the star card, and they're almost like, what the hell have I been doing? The look on their face is kind of like, I can't not focus on myself anymore. Like, it's almost like a sense of exhaustion. Definitely is not emotionally fulfilling for you, and it is obviously not making you happy, okay, with this Nine of Cups in reverse. It's like this is not, okay, so you're realizing this past situation, whatever it was, is not your wish fulfillment, okay? And you're not going to keep checking in on it. You're not going to keep making it a priority to look at, right? Like I said, you've relinquished control, and now you're realizing, like, wow, what have I been doing this whole time? I need to focus on myself. You know what I mean? So that's good. This is good, okay? This is good. I'm really feeling like this is what you need to be doing here. Ace of Pentacles is talking about, in my opinion, is talking about new opportunities in other areas of your life that could potentially help you to not focus on this so much. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. Can we clarify why the Star card is here? Can we clarify why the Star card is here? Okay, got a couple jumpers. 1 second, y'all. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so just like I said, it's almost like you've decided to relinquish control on some level. And what I'm getting here is because you've got the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Wands in reverse. So it's almost like, here's what I'm getting, is that you are not going to be taking action or communicating about this situation, right? This is like you going within. This is almost like you going into a meditative state, okay? Because the Seven of Wands is about defending yourself, defending your position. You know what I mean? This means that people are coming at you. Sometimes the Seven of Wands is also a warning card because it can say that people might try and come for what you have. You know what I mean? And so the Seven of Wands is for you to defend yourself from people coming for what you have. The Eight of Wands is talking about quick moving action and communication, right? So in this context, I'm getting that you're like, it's almost like throwing your hands up, right? And Spirit is saying that you can do that, okay? That this is actually the right thing for you to be doing. That nobody's coming for what you have. Nobody's coming to fuck with you. You don't have to be defending yourself and being defensive because the Seven of Wands is not about, because I will say, the Seven of Wands is not necessarily about being defensive without cause, right? So it's not about being defensive without cause just because you're wounded from the past or whatever it is. Like the Seven of Wands almost always, at least the way I interpret it, always means really is, I almost said righteous defense, right? But what it means is justifiable defense. You're defending yourself for the right reasons. You're defending what you have, your position, who you are as a person, whatever it is, from outside forces that are trying to attack you or, you know what I mean, take something from you, right? So it's almost like, you know, with it being in reverse, it's almost like, like I said, I'm almost feeling this point of exhaustion where it's like you have pretty much done all you can do in whatever situation. You've done all the rumination, you've done all the watching, all the try and control things, and you know what I mean, you're realizing that's not making you happy. You know what I mean? And you're realizing, like, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? Like, the energy is almost like I said, it's like, you're just like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I have to focus on myself. And it's not even in a determined way. It's in an exhausted way. Where you're finally realizing, like, what the hell have I been doing? I've been putting in so much energy and time into, you know what I mean, like, communicating things. And, like, you know, it's funny because the with the Eight of Wands, because Sag, you know what I mean, it's the what do you call them? The centaurs, right? So your symbol is the centaur with the bow and arrow, right? So there's all these arrows, right? In the Eight of Wands, it's almost like you have exerted yourself. You know what I mean? You've done that Sagittarius drive thing, right? And Sagittarius is also our very action oriented, very adventurous, very outspoken, very defensive of their positions. You know what I mean? They're very independent, have a lot of reverence for freedom, personal freedom, right? And sometimes they can be, and if you're Sag, then you can be a little bit hot-headed, or you can, to a certain extent, be a little bit aggressive with your beliefs, right? You're a fire sign, so you know what I mean? So you can be a little bit intense for other people. So sometimes that can even come off as being a little bit pushy, right? So controlling and pushy are pretty similar, but it's not necessarily exactly the same, because I would say that, like, earth signs tend to be a little bit more controlling, whereas fire signs are a little bit more pushy. But you're still trying to control somebody. You're just trying to do it with a certain amount but you're bullying a little bit, right? And, like, don't take that personally, Sag. We all have our dark side, you know? I'm a Sag rising, so you know what I mean? I get it. But that's the whole purpose of this particular moment in time for you, is you're recognizing, like, wow, I've really been in my fire element, and I've really been focusing on other people a lot, and you know what I mean, focusing on my past, and keeping tabs on people. You know, you could even just be, like, watching people. It doesn't mean, people post stuff on social media and it's public. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, if you're friends on social media with somebody, it's not like, you know what I mean? But it's like going out of your way, like going to their profile and looking at their posts, right? Or like going to watch their story specifically, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm getting at, is like, what you do, so just don't worry about it. But I'm just saying, it's like, it's different than, you know what I mean, you just seeing what someone is up to because it comes on your feed, right? It's because you're going out of your way to go find out what they're doing, and like, you're realizing that, like, this is not healthy, it's not making you happy. Like, you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing this, because you come to a point of exhaustion, Sag. Like, it's not even just about, like, you're like, oh, I should put my energy in other places. It's like, I don't think you have a whole lot of energy left, to be honest with you. And it's not an insult, and I'm here to be your friend, so just recognize that, like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not judging you for any of this. This is just what it is, at least for whoever this reading resonates with. Like, this is what I'm seeing. That Ace of Pentacles coming out again. So listen, this is a good thing, okay? And you may be feeling kind of defeated. You may feel even, I'm getting the Sun card in reverse. You may be feeling depleted, okay? You may feel even a little stupid, okay? Which is part of the reason why I told you that I'm not judging you. Genuinely. Because that's not the point of this. You know what I mean? I've seen the Ten of Cups a couple times already. Eight of Pentacles, right? So here's the deal, is you are working towards something. The Star card is here because you have a vision, you have a wish, you have something that you do want. And that's how we find out also what it is we do want, by recognizing that there's things happening that we don't want. Does that make sense? Right? Like, looking towards the past, you're like, there's something about the past that I wanted, right? But it's not happening anymore, okay? Like, so I've been, you know what I mean, trying to be controlling or be pushy, right? I'm just saying that because of the Emperor card in reverse. You're relinquishing control, which means that at one point you were trying to exert control in a situation. You'll know if this is for you or not, okay? So it's not like I'm not trying to push a narrative. This is just what I'm getting. And so it's more like, and I know it's hard because as a tarot reader, like, all tarot readers approach tarot in a different way, right? And the way that I approach tarot is with a lot of transparency, and also with a lot of how do I explain this, where it's like, I'm gonna give you the truth the truth that I'm channeling and what I'm seeing in the cards, whether I think you're gonna like it or not. But I will try and present it to you in a way that is, you know what I mean, palatable, so that you can receive the message. Because I'm not going to sit here and be rude or be like, oh, I see you're doing this, so here's an opportunity for me to jab at you. It's like, why the hell would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm your friend. Like, that's how I look at it, is that I'm your friend. I'm coming at this from a place of like, it would just be the same as if your friend, you would want your friends to tell you the truth, right? If they thought that you know what I mean, needed some advice, or they could see that something was going on that wasn't good, you know what I mean? You would want your friends to be honest with you, right? Like, I hope so, because those are real friends. So just know that, like, the way that I'm coming about this is that more often than not, Spirit always shows me what people are working on, or what people could work on, or where people are getting off path, because the purpose is for, you know what I mean, Spirit, right? Because this isn't just about me. Like, I'm just the vessel. So I'm like a processor, right? Like, I receive the message and then I interpret it and process it, right? So that's through me as a person. So my personality, my experiences, all that goes into these readings, right? But it's really Spirit is trying to help guide people, get them back on track. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like a, you know, how to explain, I'm like the bridge in between. Does that make sense? But the bridge is like, you know, made of cobblestone and different materials, and was built, you know, over time and stuff, right? So like, I'm not just like a you know what I mean, just an empty vessel, right? Like, there's twists and turns within me that these messages have to come through, and I interpret them with my experiences. So does that make sense? I'm just trying to, I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but here's the World card. Yeah, see, because this is what I'm saying, is that I feel like this is an opportune moment for you, Sag. This isn't just what it is and then period, that's it. Like, no, this is an opportunity for you, and I think that in a way you're being forced to do it, right? Because with this exhaustion thing, it's like, I feel like you have exhausted your other ways, right? Like, this was like what you were doing, and now you're realizing that, like, you know what I mean, it's just depleted you to the point where you're now kind of being forced to give up and give in a little bit here. And I think it's a good thing, you know, that you're ending old cycles here. You know what I mean? I really hope you do, because this is the type of cycle that, like, people can get caught in, and it's really pretty primal. It's pretty natural, especially, like, one moment. I will say also, with the age of the internet, okay, right? Like, I'm a millennial. Like, I remember having dial-up as a kid, and that was what was going on. You know what I mean? So now it's like we have a tiny computer in our hand, like, all the time. Like, we can do this. Like, we can look at what other people are doing. You know what I mean? And there's different sneaky ways you can look at what people are doing too, if you're like that, right? Because technology is just so out of this world these days. You know, you can, like, hack into people's stuff, you know? Like, if they've got you blocked and you're, like, all freaking, like, on it like that, you know? Which is, like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean, this is what you were doing. I'm just saying that is possible these days, you know? So I just think that in this age of change, collectively as a species, right, it's like we have way more opportunities to be toxic. We have way more opportunities to be, you know, wrapped up in the wrong ways of thinking and doing things. And when I say wrong, I just mean unhealthy. It doesn't make you happy. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not good, right? Good and bad is subjective, but in my opinion, I just don't think that that's healthy. And obviously it's not, because at the end of it all, you're depleted. You know what I mean? You're having to throw your hands in the air and be like, I give up, because I am so down the rabbit hole of wanting something that I can't have, or whatever it is, that, like, now I just have to realize, like, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't be doing that. You know, it's almost like Spirit, like I said, is almost forcing you. And this is kind of the way that the universe works things out. And, in my opinion, the way that I see it is that energy has its own signature, if that makes sense. And also that there are outcomes to certain paths, right? So if you go down a certain path long enough, the outcome is almost always not going to be exactly the same, but the outcome is going to be pretty apparent, right? Like, it's the same thing with, like, drug abuse, right? I mean, and this is just for example, okay? I'm not even saying that's what you've been doing, right? But what I'm getting is that with drug abuse, it's like, if you go down that path long enough, eventually you're going to hit rock bottom, right? You feel what I'm saying here? Is that eventually you're going to be emotionally and energetically depleted if you continue to go down that path, right? So you've gone down the path about as far as you can go here, to the point where now you're exhausted and you're having to go back within. You're having to check back in with yourself and say, well, what do I want? You know what I mean? Why am I so, you know what I mean, so entrenched in this, right? Why have I been doing this? Because there's something about it that I wanted. There's definitely something that I want, right? So you're trying to separate that, and you're trying to get back in touch with spirit and be like, why am I here? You know what I mean? What is my journey? What is my purpose? Like, what, you know what I mean? You're starting to ask those questions to yourself, right? And you're starting to ask those questions to spirit instead of looking for that fulfillment in other places, right? So that's what I'm getting here. Let's go ahead and move forward from that. But I hope that these messages are helpful to you, because, like I said, spirit has, you know what I mean, put me through a lot in my life in order for me to have these types of awarenesses, because with this awareness, then I'm more capable of delivering the message, because I can actually interpret the energy. You know what I'm saying? And it does get complex, but I appreciate if y'all hang in there with me. Okay, so to clarify the Knight of Cups here in reverse, you've got 3 cards. And this is pretty interesting here, because like I said, it's almost like you are realizing you're figuring out what you want here. And in some regards, it's like you're just, I feel like, here's what I'm getting. I feel like you will, how do I explain this? How do I explain this, Spirit? Yeah, wow, interesting. Okay, you're willing to give up love, or at least romantic feelings that you may have for a specific person, or it could be romantic feelings in general, literally. You could be willing to give that up if it means that it prevents your life from going to shit, okay? And I'm sorry to put it like that, but that's what I'm getting here, is you're like, look, if this means this, then I will walk. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do this. So you're coming through as the King of Pentacles. At first I couldn't tell if this was your energy or not, but I'm getting this as your energy, Sag. And it's because you are recognizing that you've placed an overtly inappropriate amount of importance on love and relationships. You might have even tried to buy love. I know. But you might have tried to assert yourself as being very stable, and you're recognizing that your stability was entirely dependent on whether or not people gave you love, okay? And I know it's hard to hear, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then, you know, I'm glad, right? And also that's fine, okay? But if it does resonate with you, love, then you already know, you know what I mean? And this is why you're going within, is because you're recognizing the codependence, right? Because this is what I'm getting here, is like, and you're also like, look, this is not as important as me feeling stable within myself, you know? That's what you're realizing. You're like, if I don't feel stable and I don't feel empowered, then I can just, my whole world can fall apart because some relationship doesn't work out, right? You're starting to see things really clearly. And sometimes, unfortunately, we have to go through those types of situations in order to see it clearly. And then Spirit will show us where we need to grow, right? And what we need to work on. And sometimes it's in a harsh way, right? But in this situation, it just seems like this is mostly like you ruminating, right? And realizing, like, I can't ruminate anymore because, look, you've got the Tower coming out in reverse. Here's what I see. I see this as a preventative measure, okay? You're realizing that you're like, I'm not going to let my whole world fall apart because this relationship didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like, it's more important to me to be financially stable or just, you know, I'm even getting, like, your mental health, right? And also your, how do I explain this? It's the way that your world manifests around you, right? So, like, depending on your state of mind, your experiences are going to be completely different. And let me explain it to you in lay terms, because this isn't just about manifestation, okay? It's not. It's literally cause and effect. If you don't feel good, then the decisions you make are going to be different than if you felt good, right? Literally, like say, I don't feel good, so I'm going to have a drink, right? I don't feel good, so I'm going to, you know what I mean, do this and this coping mechanism, right? So that's going to take energy away from the path where that, if I go to get a drink, that's a totally different path than if I go to get a smoothie, right? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Is that you, depending on how you feel, you make different choices. Not only that, you could have two people who are sitting in the same room having the same experience, like say watching the same movie or watching the same show, like, right? Or, you know what I mean? This being at an event or something, right? But those two people are going to have a totally different experience based on their state of mind. If one person is feeling healthy and happy and got their state of mind on lock, they're going to probably enjoy the situation, right? But someone else who's not feeling good, they could be sitting there and being like, this sucks, I hate this, I want to go. You know what I mean? I want to leave, right? So do you see what I'm saying here? Is that your experience, the way you interpret the world around you changes based on your mental health and also the decisions that you make. So does that make sense? Is that your inner state reflects in your outer state of mind, or not state of mind, but it reflects in your outer experiences, right? And that's a very scientific thing too. Like, I mean, it's quantifiable, right? It's not just an idea of like, think positive and your world will be better. It's like, you know, yes but no, right? Does that make sense? It's like, it's not it is energetic, it is spiritual, and it is magical, but at the same time it's really, really simple. Like, you know what I mean? And the more that you do good things for yourself, the better you feel. So it's a catch-22. If you don't feel good, you do things that also harm you and don't make you feel good. You know what I mean? Like, as if those are your habits or your whatever. Then it feeds itself, right? So then you're like, oh, I don't feel good, I'm gonna have a drink. Oh, I don't feel good, okay, I'm gonna have another. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to at some point break that, and this is what I feel like you're doing, because you've got the King of Pentacles here. Is like, this is realizing, like, I have the power, right? And not power over other people, but power over my own experience, my own my own life, right? And just the fact that this love situation stuff is becoming such a burden to you, that you are like, this is literally like impacting every area of my life. I have to let it go, because I can see now that it's not gonna get better until I break this cycle. That's why I feel like the World card came out for you. Okay, Spirits want me to pull some oracle cards for you, Sag. I hope this reading is helping, and, you know, I do apologize, like I said, that, you know, sometimes these readings do shine a light on things that are a little bit more difficult to look at, and like I said, I think that you already know some of this stuff, so it's not like I'm really revealing, big secrets. Take a super deep breath. It's coming out. Yeah, but you're letting it go. Like, I mean, I feel like you're letting your guard down to spirit, right? Like, you're not gonna keep going in this direction. You can't. You're too exhausted. Wow. Awesome. You got the yes card. So if you had a question, the answer is yes. Okay, and also I think that that's confirmation that this reading is hitting the nail on the head here, hopefully, for some of you. So the next card coming out is don't be afraid of the dark. Okay? And so this is part of it also, is that don't be afraid to look at this stuff, right? And I feel like that's part of the reason, because wherever this reading is for, that some of this stuff is kind of hard to hear, or, you know what I mean? So don't be afraid of your own darkness. Don't be afraid of the things that you feel like you can improve upon, and being honest with yourself. The yes card is really coming through as yes, you do need to you do need to stop focusing on what other people are doing. Okay, that's coming through pretty strongly. Don't be afraid of your own darkness. Don't be afraid to go within, because you may have been putting it off because you're afraid of what you might actually confront, what you might actually feel, right? So you could have been trying to go and deflect. And now it's kind of like you don't have the energy to do that anymore. So you might just have a little breakdown, okay? And that's okay, Sag. Do not be afraid of the breakdown. You know what I mean? It's not anything to be afraid of, okay? Because as soon as you relinquish that control and you let yourself feel it, and you let yourself go, you may feel like you're gonna fall in a deep dark well and never come out again, okay? Sometimes it can feel like that. Sometimes it feels so overwhelming, you're like, holy shit, I've been crying for hours, right? Or like, whatever it is, whatever you might end up going through, Sag, I just want you to know, babe, like, it's not gonna last forever, and it may feel really scary, like you're losing yourself, like you're losing your mind. Sometimes these ego death experiences, and I know that's a loaded term also, I just mean losing your sense of self, where you lose yourself in the moment. You lose yourself in those experiences and in the feelings that wash over you, or you lose yourself in the pain, right? Or the trauma, or whatever it is that comes up for you, Sag. Like, it's gonna, I think for a lot of people it is really scary, and so when they feel themselves slipping into that, they pull back because they're like, oh God, oh no, I'm never gonna come out. But look, I promise you, you are going to come out on the other side. And not only will you come out on the other side, but you are going to know yourself even better than you did before you go into it. Okay? Because our sense of self is not our ego, right? Who we are spiritually, our essence, right, is something that is it's undying, and it's unchanging, right? It is the true innocent part of ourselves, and the ego is what we build around it to protect it, okay? And the ego is what we use to move through the world as a human, right? And the ego is important, but a lot of times it becomes a shell, and it becomes a mask, and it becomes armor, and it can be really, really toxic. And so we need to wash that stuff off. We need to be able to go through these deep cleansing processes, okay? And it's part of the reason why Spirit keeps pulling us back to it. It's just going back to center, and it's gonna, I feel like for you, Sag, it might be difficult, and that might be why you're avoiding it, but I promise you, all you need to do is let it happen. You know, even if you need to literally turn this reading off and put the phone down right now, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be offended, okay? You know what I mean? Really, really allow yourself to let go. Don't be afraid of the dark, babe. It's going to be okay. You will come out the other side, I promise, okay? Even if you need to call a homie after, you know what I mean, and be like, hey, can you bring me some soup or something? Okay? So the next card that you're getting, I feel like, yeah, I feel like, I don't know why Spirit's wanting me to leave the energy off like this, but the next card that's coming out is compatible energy, okay? And now this could mean a lot of things. I'm almost getting even like you and I might have compatible energy, right? Or that, you know, maybe this past situation you had compatible energy with this person at one point, and I think that's what's difficult, but this might be what you need in your life, okay? You need to find things that are compatible with your energy right now. And if things aren't working out or things aren't fitting in your life, especially people, then, you know what I mean, you need to seek out people who have compatible energy with you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. And you know, even just workplace scenarios, whatever it is, like, you know, so that's what I'm getting for you. It's a pretty interesting reading that really took a deep turn, and I hope that you appreciated it if it did resonate with you. If it did, please let me know in the comments section. It really means a lot for me to hear the way that my readings touch you guys and impact you. Like I said, that this, you know, is to the best of my ability what Spirit is trying to get out there to whoever needs to hear it, right? But you know your situation better than I do. Please always, you know what I mean, consult yourself, consult your spirit guides. If something doesn't resonate, please don't try and make it fit. I do appreciate you guys, and I hope that you will, you know, like, share, or subscribe. Drop a comment before you leave. It does support me and my channel. It helps the message get further and the channel grow bigger, so it really means a lot. Also, if you need a dream interpretation, I do offer that as well. It's sliding scale. I really want to make it accessible to folks, so if you really need help interpreting a dream, please just feel free to reach out and we can work together on it, okay? My contact information is in the description box below for that, as well as my donation links if you're interested in dropping me a donation. That really means a lot and makes a big difference to me as well. And yeah, that's what I've got for you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.